Echoes Untold, where history whispers, and we listen. Welcome to Echoes Untold, the channel where we uncover stories of the past that deserve to be remembered. Today, we delve into the haunting and mysterious tragedy of the USS Scorpion, a submarine lost during the Cold War, leaving 99 souls entombed in the Atlantic. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to join us as we uncover more untold echoes of history. The USS Scorpion was a symbol of Cold War naval ingenuity. Commissioned in 1960, it was part of the U.S. Navy's Skipjack-class submarines, renowned for their sleek, teardrop-shaped design, which allowed for unmatched speed and maneuverability. Powered by a nuclear reactor, the Scorpion was capable of extended underwater patrols and was armed with torpedoes designed to hunt and destroy enemy submarines. But even the most advanced technology of its time wasn't immune to flaws, and the Scorpion would ultimately pay the price. The Scorpion departed from Norfolk, Virginia, in February 1968 for what seemed like a routine deployment in the Mediterranean. The mission included reconnaissance and intelligence gathering on Soviet naval movements. At the height of the Cold War, the Mediterranean was a hotbed of activity, with U.S. and Soviet fleets regularly shadowing one another in a silent dance of power projection. During this deployment, the Scorpion was reported to have encountered challenges that would later seem ominous. Maintenance logs indicated that the submarine was not in optimal condition. Key systems, including its hydraulic components and the torpedo tubes, were flagged for repairs before the deployment but were postponed due to the Navy's pressing operational demands. The Cold War's relentless pace meant that submarines like the Scorpion were often pushed beyond their limits. In May, as the mission neared completion, the Scorpion was ordered to return to Norfolk. On May 17, it made a brief stop in Rota, Spain, where it was resupplied and refueled for the transatlantic journey. At Rota, some reports suggest that classified orders were issued to the Scorpion, possibly directing it to shadow a Soviet naval task force operating in the Atlantic. The crew's morale was reportedly high, with the sailors looking forward to reuniting with their families after months at sea. The submarine's final routine communication came on May 21, when the Scorpion reported its position approximately 400 miles southwest of the Azores. In the message, the captain indicated that all systems were functioning normally and gave no hint of the impending disaster. This would be the last time anyone heard from the Scorpion. As the days passed and the submarine failed to arrive in Norfolk on its scheduled date of May 27, concern turned to alarm. The Navy launched an extensive search operation, employing aircraft, ships, and sonar technology. For months, the Atlantic Ocean remained silent, holding its grim secret. Finally, in October 1968, the wreckage of the Scorpion was located using advanced sonar mapping techniques. The submarine lay shattered at a depth of over 10,000 feet, its hull torn apart by forces far beyond its design limits. What went wrong? The discovery of the Scorpion's wreckage raised more questions than answers. The submarine was found broken into several pieces, with the forward sections obliterated, while the stern appeared relatively intact. Investigators were left to piece together what could have caused such catastrophic destruction. The most accepted explanation centers on the malfunction of a Mark 37 torpedo on board. The Mark 37 was a sophisticated weapon for its time, but it carried a critical vulnerability. Its propulsion system relied on silver-zinc batteries, which were prone to overheating and producing hydrogen gas. If the battery compartment became compromised, the torpedo could activate prematurely, as if it were under attack. Investigators theorized that such a malfunction occurred within the Scorpion. The torpedo might have hot run inside its tube, meaning it began its launch cycle while still within the submarine. The crew, recognizing the imminent danger, may have attempted to eject the torpedo, but there would have been little time to act. The resulting explosion would have been powerful enough to breach the forward compartments of the Scorpion, leading to flooding, loss of power, and an uncontrollable descent. Another significant factor in the disaster may have been the submarine's deteriorating condition. Maintenance records reveal that the Scorpion had been operating with deferred repairs, including issues with its ballast tanks, piping, and other critical systems. These deficiencies might have exacerbated the situation, reducing the crew's ability to respond effectively in an emergency. While the torpedo malfunction theory remains the official conclusion, alternative explanations have persisted. Some Cold War historians speculate that the Scorpion might have been involved in a confrontation with Soviet forces. In 1968, Soviet naval activity in the Atlantic was unusually high, and there were reports of an escalating submarine shadow war between the US and Soviet fleets. Could the Scorpion have been sunk by a Soviet torpedo in a classified engagement? The lack of hard evidence makes this theory impossible to confirm, but it adds an air of intrigue to the story. Finally, there is the possibility of a spontaneous mechanical failure. Submarines operate under immense pressure at extreme depths, where even a minor defect can become catastrophic. A rupture in the hull or a failure in the propulsion system could have triggered the sequence of events that led to the Scorpion's destruction. The sinking of the USS Scorpion remains one of the greatest mysteries in naval history. It underscores the inherent dangers of submarine operations, particularly during the high-stakes environment of the Cold War. The tragedy served as a wake-up call for the U.S. Navy, leading to the expansion of the submarine safety program, SubSafe. These stringent safety measures have since saved countless lives and ensured that the lessons of the Scorpion and similar incidents are not forgotten. Today, the Scorpion's wreckage lies silently on the ocean floor, a grim monument to the 99 men who gave their lives in service. Deep-sea exploration vehicles have captured haunting images of the shattered hull, evoking the submarine's final, desperate moments. The families of the crew continue to honor their loved ones, keeping their memories alive through memorials and tributes. The story of the USS Scorpion reminds us of the extraordinary risks taken by those who serve beneath the waves, where every mission is fraught with danger. As we uncover these echoes of the past, we honor their courage and sacrifice. If you found this story compelling, let us know what you think in the comments below. Was the Scorpion lost to a tragic accident, or is there more to the story? Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Echoes Untold for more stories where history whispers, and we listen. Fact-checked note: the primary theories regarding the Scorpion are based on declassified U.S. Navy documents and the findings of the Court of Inquiry. While theories of Soviet involvement exist, no hard evidence has surfaced to confirm them. The Mark 37 torpedo malfunction remains the most plausible explanation, as documented in naval archives.